Here we go, game
Gino
2.
Pablo Roxy going to be applied directly
50
towards
players.
Epic Whale, and Paper trying to make a
Endgame.
slightly lower rotational
They're just
approach,
getting
but Gino and
pushed
Pablo,
against the
they are
side.
completely
Paper
smothering
and
Paper and
Epic
Epic.
Whale.
Yeah, it just kind of forced them
Getting
out
pushed.
of the zone. And it's not a ton of damage
Not
each and every
very good
second, but
for
that
him.
definitely adds up. Look at Paper, HP absolutely diminished in the blink of an eye because of that
Paper's
rotation.
getting
But it might have been worth it. It pulls
Yeah,
towards
they are
their
just
south with a lot of
every
these teams,
single
but Roxy
person
knows
in
they're
this
trying to put down
lobby are
pressure.
just
10
shooting at
HP,
him.
barely surviving. There's a second too quick peeking. That's Ritual. That's Cold and Peterbot. One's gonna
Oh,
go
they're
down.
getting
Cold's gonna
pushed.
fall as well. Ritual by himself yet again. He's able to get the knock onto Pablo, but there is no chance of him getting the elimination.
Ritual's gonna opt for the trade of revives. He loses Cold entirely, and he's not able to actually stick it to Peterbot. Peterbot's gonna be left behind. Ritual gonna be forced to play it out as a solo now. Gino, Pablo, and
Oh my
Prodoxy, they
God.
might even look
Ritual
to hunt
and
him later
Peterbot
on.
seem
They
to just
know
getting
he's somewhere
wiped.
tangled up in this lower layer, but still, they are just so heavily looted up, Jacob. The world is their oyster right now.
From 11 to 13, big numbers in game 2. Agers, Poyo trying to do the same thing, but they just run into speed bump after speed bump. Bolts gets the elimination. Active Storm Surge on the Agers. He does have some heals, but he needs to start figuring out where he's going to get the damage from as a solo. You see in the numbers just kind of tip and top, up and down, 30 to 20. He's trying to figure it out, but every 7 seconds, 25 damage. He lands just a chip shot, but it's enough to get above the damage threshold. But as soon as he starts to try to rotate in, High Ground just focuses him and beans him down to 58 HP.
Exactly what you'd expect to see from Hype, but Agers still found this
He's on
little
Hype
pocket,
right
this
now.
little bubble,
Easy.
a breathing room, that is, until the surge damage starts to tick away at his life again. Agers just trying to see if he could come up with anything. Sure, they managed to dip a little bit into the placement points, but it's just not enough.
Yeah,
They've got to
Queasy,
go on a
Murstache, and
massive
Swizzy
recovery
run
toward
high
game
ground.
3. Swizzy, Queasy, and Murstache, though, they've already found their spot in this lobby, and it's straight towards Hype.
When you have
Queasy
high
has one
ground, like,
motto.
it's kind of hard to
Take
die
height,
unless they
don't
shoot
get
you down.
eliminated. And
And
obviously
even
in the
if they
first game,
do,
they
like,
gave it up
you
because
have
they didn't want to
Fizz,
go
Crash
down.
Pad,
This time
Shockwave.
it's their chance. 400
Oh my
plus
God, the
damage
Wrecker
above
Revolver
the
is
threshold, and it's
insane.
continuously counting upward.
Especially the
And they
mythic
pulled
one.
the zone. That is the
You got
biggest
it,
difference
man.
from game 1 to game 2.
can
They now
literally
have
just
the front
pick
side,
health
and they
off.
have full control.
Oh,
Look at
they're
Roxy trying to
going.
buy his way in.
They're
He
going for
instantly
a
gets
fight
knocked
on high
down,
ground,
and
but
now it's up to
already
Pablo
one's
Gino,
not.
and they're not immediately trying to drop down low. They're trying to assess the situation
Nah,
and
they're
figure out if they
going
can
down.
take it.
They're not
Gino's been on
fighting
fire. Pablo, still 3 eliminations too, but 11 elims despite losing Proxy. This is still a classic scenario for Pablo and Gino. They might still be able to make it work. They're trying to see if they can figure out, maybe take away a little bit of an advantage play, because these teams are looking for pre-edits in the mid-round and even in the lower layers, but they're not going to allow it. Murstache, Swizzy, and Queasy are the real threat right now, though. They just continue to apply steady pressure to those mid layers. It's a big part of the reason why these teams are just getting so picked apart in between.
And you're seeing, as soon as they made it inside of the zone, they reconnected, making it that much harder for anybody to take him down. Marius, he's now
This
trying to
rotates
move up,
on the
10
Queasy.
damage above the
It's kind of cool how
threshold.
they're
At
playing
least
both
they're
a
in front
Sentinel
of the
and
curve. Quickly looking towards the right,
Wrecker
Curly Cooper
for the
and
double
Reed.
pump.
That was their momentary target, but they realized they
It's
have to
actually
stay ahead of the
pretty
zone.
smart.
They cannot get too greedy and fall
Hig
behind.
split.
But nobody can come close to Queasy and Murstache. They're just still overtaking the high ground.
King.
Big time, though. Pigs eliminated. PH Sin soon to follow, though. If he's not careful, he's going to be forced to pull back here. But King and PH Sin, hit by hip. Flowberry Fizz punishing as much shield as they possibly can, because they have to keep moving forward, playing back the zone, because they have no materials. They're going to be forced to drop another layer. Height's not going to allow them to press forward any longer, and they might just drop directly into Epic Whale's hands.
You're seeing a lot of the damage again. Higgs goes down. Pixie cleans that one up. Queasy gets the knock onto Iyamzo. They're making sure that they
Queasy,
make it count, that
Murstache,
they
they're
got
going
high ground in
steady,
this
they're
game.
going
5
crazy,
eliminations,
they're
and once again, they're
Quizzy,
connecting it.
not
They're
steady.
reinforcing.
They're
They're
going
making sure nobody has
crazy
a
right
chance
now.
to contest them on the high ground.
Everybody underneath them
What's
is
that?
just a
Stinger
victim
SMG
at this
is an
point, Jacob.
interesting
Marius,
choice.
Vanya, and Pixie seemingly undiscovered for the time being, though. Kanata in a little spot of trouble here. Just saw him take a massive chunk of his shield. Pixie now looking to play the medkit in the active zone.
Oh, they're on a
though,
hill.
shutting
If
down
they don't
Vanya
get
the
up this
moment that he
hill,
tries
like,
to push forward,
most
and
of them are
Murstache
dead.
directly assisting here. Bolts
Oh my
over
God,
in
the
hard
Wrecker
place, and Madi is
Revolver.
gonna be not.
Crazy.
Marius eliminated essentially. There's no way his teammates are going to be able to get to him.
Yeah, and you're also seeing Kanata fall rapid down. Not sure about both, but things are going sideways very quickly, and it gets even more worse because the zone is pulling over that mountain. If you didn't prepare for it, it's going to be lights out. But
Oh,
Swizzy trying to
Swizzy's
stop
done.
Juice. He's going to be the first one that does go down for Mustache Squeezy. That's a huge signal. That's a
Yeah,
huge
they can't get up
sign.
the
They're trying to
mountain.
get away
Quizzy
from
and
this
Mustache
catalyst
basically
on the
have
low
won
ground.
already.
Queasy and Verstappen were the only ones that made it to the mountaintop.
Oh
and
my
Queasy
god,
is
the
just
Record Revolver is
raining down
insane.
from above. Queasy continuing to find those eliminations. Pump gonna be dropped. It's only Baka. And
There's
yet
another
the
one.
Panthers been eliminated too. Queasy and Verstappen.
Wow. Mustache, Queasy, and Swizzy just destroy.
Who do you think is gonna win? And they
Yeah, I was gonna say, if they can't get up that hill, they're dead. They basically won. That's insane.
Game 2 victory royale. Just fighting.
Alright, standings after game 2. Silo Arc and Shudafin got 71. Higgs Clicks and Examio 78. Vico Veno and Flicky 80. Pez and Pump, I'm just gonna say Pump, is 84. And Wingo, whatever that is, the sixth place is in 85, is got 85 points. Seti's team got 90. King's team got 102. Tyson, Chico, their teams got 106. Rapid, Kanata, Volks got 145. And Queasy, Mustache, and Swizzy got 169 points, taking a huge lead. And we do have some big mover ups like 6, 6, and 7. So yeah, on to game number 3.